All right, everybody, thank you for joining me. I am completely stoked. This just arrived today. This is the Marathon JDD, Jumbo Day Date. I can't wait. Let's take a look. I picked this up from Windy City Watch Collector. Chris Hooper, the owner, man, he just does a great job. This came super fast. Really impressed. This is actually not the first marathon I've bought from Windy City Watch Collector. I do have an amazing Arctic that we'll take a look at and compare in just a few minutes. Let's crack this open. Wow, that is cool. And massive. Let's actually put this side by side with the Arctic. All right, let's talk about these two watches. This is my Marathon Arctic GSAR Government Search and Rescue. This is has an automatic movement. I've really liked the white face. It is an amazing watch. It uses a Swiss slider movement. Comes in at about 41 millimeters. The watch next to it, the Jumbo Day Date. This is a very similar watch, but it's going to come in at 46 millimeters. A much larger watch, a much greater presence on the wrist. I do have about an 8.5-inch wrist. This watch will fill my wrist up nicely. This watch always felt a little small, even though it's a good size watch. It's a 40 millimeter watch. It's very tall. Part of it is the depth of the chapter ring in both of these watches, and the depth of the watch itself makes the watch face just feel a little small and compressed, especially on the Arctic. So I do really like a bezel dive watch with the Roman numerals. It's just my personal preference. So I wanted something with a little bit larger numbers and a little bit larger presence. So I picked up this JDD, and I'm really excited to give it a wear. All right, let's talk a little bit about the specs on this. This does have the ETA 2836 movement, which is a nice, it's a nice Swiss movement. We do have the Tritium gas tubes and Mariglow up here, and the case itself is made from that 316L stainless steel. So this is a pretty solid watch. I do really like the finish and the brushing on this. On the back, it's pretty cool. You do have, just like with the other marathons, turn that around so I can read it. We do have all of the, information that we need. This is a government watch. So because it does have tritium, it does have all of the regulatory markings on it. Standard 180 click unidirectional bezel. It does have a nice, very stout ratchet feel to it. Feels like a tool. The crown is screw-in. This is quite the hefty crown, and it's got a nice cover on it. So this is actually going to come in probably closer to 50 millimeters, would be my guess. Case to crown, 51.5. So this is a pretty big watch. The depth on this watch, this is not a petite watch. 18.1 millimeters. It does have a domed sapphire crystal. It's just slightly domed. It's difficult to see, but it is in there. It's nicely protected by the bezel. This is definitely a tool watch. And one of the interesting things is when you open this watch up, one of the first things you notice is actually the odor of the band. It is impregnated with this vanilla smell that's supposed to prevent it from getting stinky. If you're wearing it and you get sweaty. I haven't had that problem with silicone or rubber watch bands. Typically it's more with the fabric and the NATO bands. I'll probably wind up trading this out shortly for a metal bracelet. They do sell a metal bracelet, so I'll probably be upgrading to that here in the next couple of weeks. One of the cool things about both of these watches is actually the indices. All of the indices are filled with tritium. That's actually why we have the little H3 and that radioactive symbol on both of these watches, because the indices are these very tiny glass tubes filled with tritium, or hydrogen. And what happens is, as they decay, the radiation interacts with the phosphorus coating on the inside of that tube, and it causes the indices to glow. That glow is supposed to last 25 years until it gets to about its half-life. So this does not require any light to make the indices glow. The Mariglow up on the pip will require light in order for it to glow for a while, but the indices on the hands and on the dial itself, they will glow constantly. So do not need to be charged for those to glow. They will just glow 24 hours a day. If I were to do a size comparison between the watches I own, the Marathon is closest to my Bulova Marine Star, and I wore this watch every day for years. I liked this watch, but it just wasn't as accurate as I'd wanted it to be. The Bulova literally lost, between 50 seconds and a minute a day. So that was pretty annoying. But I did really like the size, the feel. This comes in, I believe, at about 51 millimeters, so pretty hefty size. It is a lot thinner, 13, and that's because this does not have the tritium hands. With those tritium hands, you actually need to make the depth in that watch face much deeper to accommodate the glass tubes on the minute, the hour, and the second hand. So I do have an 8.5 inch wrist, and the strap to this watch comes with the vulcanized rubber strap. I'm wearing on the second hole, and it's just about comfortable. I can fit my finger in there, so it'll be able to breathe and move around a little bit. I will be purchasing the metal band for this. But 8.5 inches, this fits my wrist pretty nicely. I don't think I'll have a problem with it digging in. I wear other large watches. This will fit right into my collection. And I will start wearing this tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna start wearing it tonight. With my new Marathon being added to the collection, I think this will find itself in high rotation in my wearing routine. I'll be wearing this for sure for the next couple of weeks, just to kind of get a feel for it. And I'll definitely give a brief update video on just the wearability, especially once I get the new bracelet in. Not a huge fan of silicone or rubber bracelets, so that will definitely be swapped out pretty soon. Anyway, hey, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a like and maybe subscribe.